assignment for you. If you have a paper, essay, discussion post, anything that is getting submitted to turn it in, uninstall Grammarly from your web browser right now. I had a paper that I had to write for a criminal justice class. I said, oh, it'll be an easy class, easy A, wrong. I turned a paper in, got a 0. I talked to the teacher, the department head, and the dean, and I was unintentionally cheating using Grammarly. Grammarly uses generative AI to do its like spell check and punctuation check and everything like that. So when I turned this paper in, I got a 0 because it was using AI. So even though it wrote absolutely nothing for me, I still get a 0. So if you have a paper and it's getting turned in to turn it in, uninstall Grammarly right now because I don't want you to fail a class like I did.
A University of North Georgia student on academic probation after she says that she used Grammarly to proofread a paper. But the university claims she used artificial intelligence to complete it.
Fox 5's Kim Loeffler has the back and forth of what happened.
The UNG junior I spoke with says she's used the proofreading tool before, but a paper she turned in back in October was flagged for plagiarism.
It's just been very frustrating.
Marley Stevens says after submitting a paper for her criminal justice class in October, she was surprised to learn her professor gave her a 0 for the assignment and reported her to the Office of Student Integrity.
And he was like, you used AI on your paper, you get a 0. That was it. I had Grammarly installed in my web browser, but I've only ever had like the free version of it. So all it did was fix my punctuation and my spelling.
She submitted the paper through the program Turnitin, which flagged it for the use of AI. Earlier this month, she learned she'd been placed on academic probation. The company Grammarly says the suggestions for grammar and spelling changes aren't made through generative AI, an algorithm which can create new content on its own. They also note some third-party tools can mistake any Grammarly use as generative AI. Stevens says she's used Grammarly on other assignments before without issue.
I've written my papers the same exact way all through college. In a Google Doc with my Grammarly extension, I've never had any problems.
Regarding their AI policies, the University of North Georgia issued a statement saying, in part, our faculty members communicate specific guidelines regarding the use of AI for various classes, and those guidelines are included in the class syllabi.
If it's a college
All right, Shalom, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHEM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHEM, RUKAKWADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Mani Akim, Wakwathium, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. And today's lesson, we're going to be getting into this whole AI stuff. All right, now, the reason why I'm doing this lesson actually is because I remember when I was going to college and I had to do a whole bunch of different papers. I even still have a whole folder, in my computer of all the not lessons, Lakia, all the papers that I did. All right, so all the stuff, like it literally taking up what? Let me see. Bear with me one moment. Taking 100 megabytes up in my computer, which is not a lot, but it is a lot of papers that are in my thing. Now the thing is, or the reason why I'm making this video is to show like the just how much things have changed, because it was like almost 10 years that I was doing stuff, and we didn't have no AI generative thing that they could see and check and see, oh, did an AI make this or this and the third and whatnot. What we did was, or if people wanted to cheat, which I did not cheat, I literally made all of those stuff by myself from scratch, which that is another thing. All right, when I was in school, we all had to be smart enough to make, which I will still say there were some people that they weren't smart enough to make a full competent essay, but at that same time they were still able to to make an essay, they were still able to read and write and spell for the most part. But if you look at people today, they can't read and write. They can't even spell certain words. Okay, people would have a hard time spelling fucking probation, which, you know, most of us, we can just sound it out right now. All right, you can sound out what reduction. All right, but they will spell shun, TION, with SHUON or SHUN. They will sound. They don't know how to spell. They don't know, like, all these things. Like, they're dumb. Like, I'm not sugarcoating it. Dumb. All right. Let me get this. 2 Ezra chapter 14 verse 17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. And this is what we see today. People are, weaker. They're and when I say weak, when it says weaker, I mean overall capability, and their overall capability has diminished greatly. Okay, they're not as capable. They're not as intelligent, and by extension, they also are not physically weaker. All right, they are overall weaker in terms of overall capability, but also weaker in terms of physical capability. As we see this with the whole alphabet people, where they are teaching young boys to grow up to be effeminate and weak. So this is in that literal physical aspect. All right, now with this whole AI stuff, okay, with this whole AI stuff, one thing there are a lot of different things I want to get into. But first things first, as I said before, when I was in college, I didn't need or have that type of stuff to rely on. For me, I had to go type up, make my entire essay, and then I had to go in reread it like 2 or 3 times, or to make sure that it was said properly, it was done properly, everything was good, everything was, in order. All right. And again, like as I said before, when other people, when they couldn't make a whole essay, it's pretty easy and simple for someone or people at my time to make a paragraph. They can make a paragraph. That's not too hard. But a whole essay, which is just 5 paragraphs, like if you really want to break it down to simplistic terms, it was just 5 sentences at most, or 6 sentences at most each paragraph, 4 sentences each paragraph to make a thing. So at minimum, you would have 20 sentences for an essay, and that was hard. That was pushing it for people. Like people would barely push that. All right, but for me, I wasn't looking at how other people did it. All I knew was they would say that they struggled to do it, and I would rarely ever struggle. Now, I'm Slovakia. I don't mean to do a dick measuring contest. It's not that's not my intention. I'm just going to this is just to show that this is the new norm for these people. And now another thing I want to get into was something that she said and what they said as well. So over here they said, well, no, let's see. I think she says it.
Public service announcement for you. If you have a paper, essay, discussion post, anything that is getting submitted to turn, uninstall Grammarly from your web browser right now. I had a paper that I had to write for a criminal justice class. I said, oh, it'll be an easy class, easy A. Wrong. I turned a paper in, got a 0. I talked to the teacher, the department head, and the dean, and I was unintentionally cheating.
Also, Slovakia, I just want to point out, because I also heard this from someone else, that whole unintentionally, the way these devils explain shit to you, it's so ass backwards. If they acknowledge that she wasn't cheating, then why are they penalizing her? If they acknowledge that something there was an error in something, or something is not right, why are you still going through with the punishment? Something that I've just never understood, and I think it's just overall dumb as hell. All right, so she clearly she talked to them. Clearly she showed that, okay, I just used Grammarly. I didn't use any AI generator, because you can make, I think, let me see, because I think you can make, I have to fucking sign in, shit. Okay, anyway, I tried ChatGPT before to see like what was about. Basically, I didn't use it for anything like I needed to do or anything like that. I don't need it for me. Like I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I'm smart enough to make my own, essays if I need it. But anyway, the point was, I did ChatGPT, and it literally showed a whole bunch of stuff like in a matter of seconds, like less than 10 seconds or anything like that, which is obviously like super quick. All right, like it did a whole bunch of research. I asked it about, what's this can you tell me what's the best program for this, that, and the third, and it shows me a bunch of different options and whatnot. It talks a whole bunch of stuff. It literally gives you a whole essay. You can give it a topic, and then it can talk about it and do all this stuff for you. And that's another thing. That's what they were talking about. It is generative AI. All right. Let me also see if I can see where they said that.
Through college in a Google Doc with my Grammarly extension. I've never had any problems.
Regarding their AI policies, the University of North Georgia issued a statement saying, in part, our faculty members communicate specific guidelines regarding the use of AI for various classes, and those guidelines are included in the class syllabus.
All right, Slakia, whatever. I will just explain it. They were saying generative AI. So basically, the thing is, I think Grammarly made a statement. I think that's what they said, that sometimes uses generative AI, which I think whatever thing that they were checking for in terms of like, is that, and Slakia, that's another thing. Slakia, let me sidestep for a quick second. That's another thing. These teachers, they are grading these papers by themselves. All right, what they do, they have to go to see, does this have any type of AI interference in it? All right, and what went through her stuff was, does this paper have any traces of AI specifically? Okay, and through the what's the thing called, through the paper check, plagiarism checker. All right, so through the plagiarism checker, funnily enough, Grammarly has it, and basically through this, if they, I guess I don't know the specifics, but I guess if there's any traces of generative AI, okay, because when the specifics of generative AI is creating something. So if it creates a sentence, creates a word, then that's where issue stems from, or the plagiarism stems from. But there's a huge but. What she's trying to explain is that she typed in all of the words. None of the words were made by any sort of AI. She is trying to explain that Grammarly is only meant to like check for spellings and stuff like that, and check for spellings, punctuations, commas, periods, whatever, and all that stuff. She is making all the words by herself, and she made that clear. But they are not. They understood that. They acknowledged that, again, as I said before, but they still penalize her, which, again, I think that is wrong. But it doesn't change the fact that for the generative AI, because Grammarly's program is generative AI, then that's where the whole issue of she is cheating because she's using this AI type of thing. All right. One quick side note again, Slocky, I keep on getting off track, but one thing was when I was going to college specifically, one teacher had said that if you cheat, I'm gonna find out, because there was this one chick that had hired someone to do a paper like there, because there were professional places that professional sources where you can just say, hey, I need to make a paper about this, and then they would make a super detailed, super professional, super like intellectual essay. All right, and then this chick had turned it in as her own work, and then the teacher said, okay, what does this word mean? And then she didn't know. She looked stupid, and then she said, okay, yeah, you failed. You're not doing this because you cheated. All right, so I thought that was a pretty funny thing, and it also goes to show the different ways that these people do cheat, or Slacky, not the way that they cheat, but more specifically how things have changed so drastically. Because before, people would hire people to cheat, and now you don't even need to hire anyone. You can just freaking get a AI to just make you an essay. All right, so yeah, let me also get these scriptures. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And this is the thing that we need to be aware of, the new age of convenience, and how people are less reliant on their own capabilities, less reliant on doing things by themselves, and more reliant on, okay, well, there's an app for that. There's a program that lets us do all this stuff. We don't even need to bother for doing this. And this is what, funnily enough, this is what this is what they were teaching us in school. Like, they were saying you need to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and all this. There were kids in my class when I was in school, not college, but school, saying, when the fuck am I going to learn? When the fuck am I going to need to add and subtract when I can just use a calculator? Okay, there's a calculator on my phone. I'm always gonna have this type of stuff readily available to me. Okay, and then well, first off, one of my teachers, one of my good teachers, he said there was this one time where there was a power outage, and this one girl was working at the cash register, and when the power outage hit, they were saying, okay, all the cashier, you guys, even though the things are not working, keep on doing your job, but just do it yourself. Count all the stuff out yourself. And then this one girl, she didn't know how to like add, subtract, and all that stuff, so they had to send her home because she couldn't do her job. Like, she was just used to doing the, press the buttons and let the cash register do all the work for her. All right. So yeah, she did there is that, but in addition to that, on a more extreme case, again, it's more heavy. It's more too much reliance on technology instead of learning and being capable of doing things on your own. Okay, so now when you get to a point where, okay, so I don't know what am I gonna eat? All right, but you're always used to ordering out food, so you don't ever learn to cook. Okay, so then now when the economy collapses and you're not gonna have any, you're not gonna have any money to order out anymore, you're gonna need to start pinching pennies. All right, pinching pennies, whatever the term is, I think that's the term. Pinching quarters, pinching pennies. All right, so then now if you don't do that, Okay, Slocky, if you don't do that, then you're gonna run out of money. You won't be able to eat anymore. Or even worse, all the fast food restaurants are not gonna deliver. They're not going to be open anymore. All these mom and pop stuff are gonna be shut down and whatnot. So then you're not gonna be able to eat. What are you gonna do then? Like, and that's another thing. These women today, modern day women, are in Babylon, in the West, whatever you want to call it. They don't know how to cook. More specifically, Babylon, I'd say. They don't know how to cook. They just eat out. They order stuff. Even the ones that have husbands or are in a relationship or whatever, they don't cook. They order food. And they expect, the man to pay. There was a freaking joke. What's that dude's name? Oh, it's Rags. What's this dude's name? What was the video? I'm going to try to be quick. Here it is. So basically, yeah. The title of the video is Women That Brag About Their Man Paying Everything.
For anything.
What? Are you serious?
Nothing. A true man. He pays
Okay.
for every single thing.
Period.
And he still
Period.
has the time to show me love and all types of things, bro. Like, it just makes me feel so good. Yesterday when he got home from work, I saw him sitting in the car for like an hour. I think he was like writing me like a love letter.
Had to.
Oh, there he go.
Had to.
Hey, guess who's home? Bay is home. Guess who home? Bay is.
Aw.
I've seen that from him every day. He loves it.
I can tell.
Hey, Bay, how was work? I actually got demoted today.
Oh no.
I was demoted because I was late getting there. I spent too long at my first job. But I need 2 jobs. Maybe take care of this household and this economy. So I couldn't really help that.
Listen, babe, it's okay. You're going to get a promotion again one day. You're going to get it again one day. But I know it can make you feel better. Some food.
I don't smell any cooking.
Oh, actually, I didn't feel like cooking today. I was thinking you could buy us some food.
So yeah, basically, you can watch the rest of the video, but that's the thing. Like, when I saw this thing, it was pretty funny. The scenario is, he's overworked. They don't have money for all this shit, and they don't have money for all this. Slocky, they don't have money for all this shit, but she still expects him to pay for everything, and then she's not cooking food. She's not going to the grocery store. She's expecting, get fucking or order some stuff, which ultimately, I'm not gonna lie, which is why I stopped going to restaurants and getting food like that. Like, we actually learned to make a whole bunch of shit, like pizzas, burgers, and all that stuff. Like, we just make our own stuff. It's substantially cheaper, especially, well, not so much pizza, not gonna lie. Pizza's still a bit expensive. It's cheaper, but it is ultimately still expensive. But this is the thing that they do. This is what is going on. Like, they expect you to pay for everything. They're not aware of the shit that's going on. Okay, like, again, these women aren't as useful and capable, or even acknowledge the gravity of how bad things are. Most women, not all, I guess. Which I shouldn't have even said that. I should have just let it ride. But yeah, this is the overglorified lifestyle that women tend to believe. Like, this whole, I don't need to work, I don't need to worry about anything, I don't even need to do anything. Once I get a man, he's going to cook, clean, go get the job, go pay all the bills, while I can spend his money, go traveling, blow through his money, and blow through his money shopping, doing whatever I want, but he still has to work. He still has to go cook for me, or not cook for me, but doing all this stuff. Just like it's just crazy. And that's real life. Oops, that's real life mindset that these women have. It's actually crazy. Finally, Isaiah 30 verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And lastly, last thing to get into is the whole relying on Babylon, which ultimately that's what they're ultimately going to do, which they have done that already with the whole the jab thing. That was them thinking getting scared of the C9, the data of C9, and then after that they said, okay, let me go get the jab, because it's from the government. The government, they want to protect us, this and this, right? And then ultimately a lot of people regret it. Okay, but then clearly a lot of people didn't learn their lesson, because now, eventually when it gets to, let me take a step back, because they didn't learn their lesson, because a lot of people are still holding true and thinking that, the government has their best interest at heart. They're believing all the lies with all the, the government, not government, what the fuck is called? Military, the military, they're doing a good job. They're protecting the people, and this, that, and the third. Okay, and then on top of that, I just forgot what I was gonna get into. The MOTB. When we get to that, they're going to give the incentive of, you have to take this stuff, this digital CHIP, all right, and then we're gonna give you $2,000 a month in order to, partake in this new system, all right. And again, this is the conditioning that the masses of people have gone through in believing and trusting in Egypt, all right. They think that everything that they do is right, and they're going to be safe and taken care of. And especially with how things are now, $2,000 a month is definitely going to be a really big help in general. All right. So with that, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, the honors of the elders and apostles of the great millstone, above the ball, and shalom.